Angel Reese spoke to the media.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. She's only 22.
The Fever have hired a new coach, Stephanie White, while Angel Reese is throwing another temper tantrum. Why is this even a surprise anymore at this point?
Clark's transformation of the Fever into the best offensive team, the best passing team, and the number 6 seed for the playoffs tells the whole story.
Let's rewind a bit. Stephanie White, former head coach of the Indiana Fever, has officially been reappointed as the head coach once again.
Me and Camilla, it's the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So, it's been hard for me. But adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of, just moving on has been something I try to...
But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship.
One key reason White may have chosen the Fever and Caitlin Clark over a potential opportunity with Reese and the Sky could be the stark differences between Clark and Reese. Clark has built her reputation on undeniable talent, a strong work ethic, and an intense focus on the game, while Reese's fiery temperament and unpredictable behavior may have made her a less appealing option for White.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
While Caitlin Clark has garnered attention for her exceptional play, she has managed to avoid much of the drama that surrounds Angel Reese's career. Reese, on the other hand, is known for her charisma and outspoken nature, but she has also been involved in public feuds, controversies, and what some consider unnecessary drama.
And most of it is just related to attitude. Cut out the whining, cut out all the energy you're giving the rest.
Now several WNBA stars, black and white, have criticized their commissioner for not properly condemning the Angel versus Caitlin racial hate they've seen on their social media.
For a coach like White, who's focused on building a long-term, high-performing team, Caitlin Clark might be the better fit. Clark is seen as a player who lets her game speak for itself, with a reputation built on skill, consistency, and focus. By choosing the Fever, White has clearly expressed her desire to build a team centered around those qualities, rather than media spectacles and off-court distractions. For Angel Reese, watching White focus on assembling a super team in Indiana must be incredibly frustrating, especially considering the contrasting approaches and personalities involved. Reese likely had ambitions of building a similar level of talent in Chicago, and now she's watching that vision unfold in Indiana instead.
The WNBA's black superstars should thank their lucky stars for the record ratings Caitlin Clark is detonating, even if new fans are mostly white fans. It doesn't matter what color eyeballs are.
Her frustration is understandable, as she sees the Fever becoming the center of attention while feeling the Sky, with their own star power, deserve that spotlight. The WNBA has been working hard to expand its fan base and boost viewership, and the growing rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark could be exactly what the league needs. With White's coaching expertise and Clark's undeniable star power, the Fever are becoming one of the most talked-about teams in the league. This rivalry not only adds intrigue, but also helps to fuel the league's push for greater recognition, captivating fans and drawing more attention to women's basketball. This makes it even more essential for the Fever and White to create a team environment that keeps Clark invested.
Clark is just the epitome of the intersection of social media, of pop culture, and fan engagement in a way that we've never seen, and she's moving the needle forward for all athletes.
If they fail to capitalize on this moment, the WNBA risks losing some of its brightest talent to international leagues or other opportunities. Meanwhile, Reese is aware that her own status in the league is closely tied to this rivalry, knowing that her performance and presence could define her legacy within the WNBA. Angel Reese knows that having her name mentioned alongside Caitlin Clark helps build her personal brand, but it's clear she doesn't want to play second fiddle. If there's one thing Reese is known for, it's her unshakable confidence. she's not backing down from this rivalry. According to sources,
let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. Was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down,
Reese has been telling teammates, friends, and even some media outlets that the Chicago Sky will crush the Fever next season. This bold prediction is classic Reese. She thrives on competition and is always ready to challenge anyone standing in her way. However, as Reese's words turn into actions, White's experience as a coach, combined with Clark's relentless work ethic, makes the Fever a formidable opponent. Reese's comments may fire up the Sky, but they also place a spotlight on her performance. Every game between the Sky and the Fever will now be a highly anticipated showdown, with fans eagerly watching to see if Reese's predictions will come true or if she'll end up eating her words. This rivalry has the potential to ignite fierce competition.
but we just have to understand that when a transformational figure enters the fray, you got to pause and then isolate and compartmentalize and give them the love that they're due. And in this case, it belongs to Caitlin Clark.
Pushing both teams to their limits and solidifying Reese and Clark as the central figures driving the WNBA's next chapter. This rivalry is no longer just about a regular season matchup. It's about pride, ambition, and proving who truly has what it takes to reach the top of the WNBA. Reese's bold words may grab attention, but White and Clark are building something that could surprise everyone next season. Stephanie White's return to the Indiana Fever.
But they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face. And there is still this undertone of jealousy that for some reason I cannot get around calling it anything else but that, because I don't know what else it could be. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlin to be a part of it.
Her decision to build a team around Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's fiery reaction are all setting the stage for one of the most intense rivalries the WNBA has ever seen. White's vision of creating a super team, combined with Reese's bold predictions, is adding fuel to the fire. Fans are eagerly awaiting the clash between these two teams. Will White's leadership propel the Fever to the top, or will Reese's Chicago Sky truly crush Indiana next season? With Clark's undeniable skills, fan appeal, and magnetic personality, the buzz surrounding the Fever is unlike anything we've seen in years.
Attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding Angel Reese?
This rivalry is primed to be a defining force in the league, captivating fans and setting the stage for a dramatic season ahead. Fever fans are celebrating Stephanie White's return, but Angel Reese from the Chicago Sky reportedly has serious issues with the decision. Known for her fiery competitiveness and blunt opinions, Reese apparently feels slighted by White's choice to return to Indiana. According to insiders, Reese was hoping White would consider joining the Sky instead.
4 moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. I'm not finished. Attendance for the entire league is up nearly 50% this year, and Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of 17,035, up 319% from a year ago.
Believing her presence could help propel the team to WNBA dominance. The tension between Reese and White adds another layer to an already intense rivalry, as Reese now feels that White's move has shifted the balance of power in the league. Instead, White's focus on building a super team around Caitlin Clark has seemingly sparked jealousy and frustration for Angel Reese. Sources close to Reese say she has thrown shade at White's decision, calling it a major mistake. Reese, known for her outspoken nature and her ambitions to bring the Chicago Sky to the top, views White's move as a betrayal of her vision.
This is expected of Caitlin Clark. She's supposed to be great. She's not the Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese is, because that's a surprise, which to me is wrong. Should LeBron not have won the Rookie of the Year because he was supposed to win it?
That's considered
the marketing savior for the sport. Yes, they were talking about chartered flights before she ever came along and opened her mouth. But shortly after Caitlin Clark opened her mouth, you had chartered flights. And you ain't have it in 2 decades. He's got that kind of influence, that kind of power.
For Reese, Clark's growing prominence within the WNBA is a tough pill to swallow, especially given the heavy investment White is making in Clark's potential. When comparing the impact of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese on their respective teams, one thing is clear. The stats heavily favor Clark's influence. Since joining the Indiana Fever, Clark has been a game changer, not only for her team, but for the entire league. Clark's presence has sparked a noticeable surge in WNBA viewership and popularity. Her influence is evident in the numbers, as she's consistently led in attendance figures.
Don't y'all want a greater profile? Don't y'all want more notoriety? Don't y'all want more hype? I understand that it's going on still without her, now that she's out of the playoffs, because the games have been great. But the fact of the matter is, she swelled the interest in the sport.
Clark has drawn massive crowds both at home and on the road. The Fever's attendance jumped nearly 40% since her arrival, showing just how magnetic she is to fans. But the most telling stat is the average viewership for her games: 1.8 million viewers. This is a staggering number when compared to typical WNBA viewership, signaling that fans are tuning in specifically to watch Clark play. These numbers have not only elevated her individual profile, but have also helped make the Fever one of the most talked about teams in the league.
How I wanted to be as a coach, how I wanted to communicate as a coach, what it takes to be successful. You certainly learn a lot about that. To be recruited by Lyndon and play for her in college and then to work with her as a colleague. I learned more in 4 years working with her than I have learned in my entire career.
We're going to the rim. We're not fighting the rim. Everything is attacking.
Look, Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her? Other than she plays really, really hard, and I liken her game to Moses Malone. Moses Malone was relentless. So it's not that I don't appreciate who she is or how she plays. There is no one like Caitlin Clark.
Clark's ability to drive ratings, merchandise sales, and overall engagement has made her one of the most valuable assets in women's basketball. On the other hand, while Angel Reese has built a strong following, her impact on ticket sales and viewership hasn't reached the same heights. Reese's presence with the Chicago Sky certainly brings energy and excitement, but it's Clark who has been more consistent in driving higher attendance, social media engagement, and merchandise sales.
Angel Reese is an elite rebounder whose rebounding has not made Chicago a better team. Caitlin Clark is an elite basketball player who has made the Fever significantly better.
Recent reports show that Clark's jersey is currently the best-selling item in the WNBA, a significant accomplishment in a league where jersey sales are a crucial revenue stream. Moreover, sponsorship interest in Clark alone has increased by over 150% since her debut, which further underscores her marketability and the influence she has over fans and brands alike.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star.
These numbers highlight why Stephanie White's decision to return to the Fever and work with Caitlin Clark might be more than just a coaching choice. It's a strategic move for the future of the franchise. In a league that has been striving to expand its fan base and increase visibility, Clark's undeniable impact on ratings and ticket sales presents a unique opportunity for the Fever.
All I gotta say is she's lucky this UConn team isn't healthy. And that's a true statement.
That's wrong, Molly.
Monica,
That's wrong, Molly. Molly,
like
it's
five
excuses.
top players,
It's excuses,
am I right?
Molly. It's excuses.
Major injuries.
You would not be saying that if it wasn't UConn.
Major stars not playing.
Listen,
You gotta go.
It's her against Caitlin Clark.
Stephen A.
Ain't no excuses.
Stephen
You
A.
got there. Don't want to hear that now.
Stephen A.
Let me tell you, if
Paige
Georgetown
Becker-
gets back in the mix, I'm going to be insufferable. I'm just telling you that now.
What?
If Paige Beckers didn't basically miss 2 seasons, I don't know if we'd be talking about Caitlin Clark the way we are now.
White's decision is a long-term play, positioning the team to capitalize on the momentum Clark has brought. Ultimately, while Reese's fiery personality and fierce ambition certainly make her a key player in the WNBA, it's clear that Clark is poised to be the future face of the league.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon.
White's focus on building around her might just be the key to securing a championship for the Fever, while simultaneously helping to solidify Clark as the WNBA's brightest star. For Reese, seeing the Fever thrive with Clark at the helm might sting, but it also adds fuel to the fire as she continues her own quest for dominance with the Chicago Sky.
A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, saying, well, you giving her all this credit. What about the women that came before her? What the women came before her, what they did cannot be taken away. That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. But there was a lot of people trying to make sure they keep Caitlin Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done. We saw the ratings. We saw the merchandise sales. We saw the attendance. But y'all want to make it about something else.
Choosing Caitlin Clark over Angel Reese could be the tipping point for Stephanie White as she works to establish a lasting legacy with the Indiana Fever. Clark's undeniable influence on viewership, attendance, and merchandise sales offers White a unique opportunity to build a franchise around a player with the potential to elevate the team's profile. This decision could attract more sponsors, increase fan engagement, and make the Fever an attractive destination for future talent, positioning them for long-term success. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. You can watch more videos from us here.